Hello and welcome to a brand new video where today we will be seeing what championship managers will be under pressure from the very start of this upcoming championship season. Which ones do you think? Let me know down in the comments. But yeah, I'm just going to dive into what I think what managers will be under pressure from the start of this season. So I have picked 6 managers that I think will be under pressure at the start of the season. And for number 1, I have gone for Rob Edwards. Very, very risky appointment this from Middlesbrough. And I could definitely see him struggling at the start of the season. And if they don't get off the board, then they should be looking at sacking him. Middlesbrough always do get off to difficult starts in the Championship. He's got big shoes to fill. He's got to fill Michael Carrick's absence there, who has got into the playoffs a few times over the past and not really done well in the playoffs, but has definitely done something for Middlesbrough. So yeah, they will expect a promotion charge Middlesbrough this season. They could start losing regret over that change if they do not fire on all cylinders. Of course, they need to be probably in and around the playoffs and probably maybe getting in those playoffs for Rob Edwards, and that would be a successful season for Steve Gibson's Middlesbrough. But apart from that, yeah, Rob Edwards is definitely one of the managers that is under pressure at the start of next season. Another manager I have gone for, and it is Mark Robins at Stoke. He left Coventry City, or got sacked by Coventry City, I should say, last season by Coventry, and there is a problem there. Stoke brought him in. Stoke, nothing goes well at Stoke. Stephen Schumacher left there last year. Mark Robins came in. It didn't really stabilise anything. I think if they don't get off to the best of starts, Mark Robins could be facing the sack from the Stoke City board, and with the amount of business they have done, he will be definitely looking at the sack. But yeah, it's very, very early days yet for Mark Robins to be losing his job. If you look what he did at Coventry, got them into the playoffs. I don't think he really did anything at Stoke, but it's really hard to get things going at Stoke. There's not really much of an atmosphere at the Bet365. Their away fans are pretty good from what I can recall. So yeah, I think Mark Robins is definitely definitely under pressure. He's probably top 3 managers that could get sacked by the end of September if results don't start going to plan. For Stoke City, they've brought in the numbers, they've brought in the business, but yet again, it might just be the manager. It could be a player issue, it could be a club issue, it might be a bit like Man United and what is going on there. But yeah, Stoke and Mark Robins just definitely don't think are the right fit. It wouldn't be a managerial video without talking about Watford, of course. Paulo Pezzolano coming in, the Uruguayan head coach, replacing Tom Cleverley earlier this summer. So, yeah, Watford have to get this managerial appointment right, but they will be sacking him by the Christmas period at least, and probably won't even be before then if they get off to a terrible, terrible start. He can't keep changing managers every 2 seconds. They've gone through the proper managers. They've gone through the Wilders. They've gone through Nigel Pearson all that time they're in the Premier League, of course. They've gone through, who else have they? Rob Edwards. They've gone through Tom Cleverley. They've gone through Valerian Ismail. You name it. You name the manager, mid-table manager in around the Premier League Championship. They have had that manager, and they have left. He has been sacked within an instant. So yeah, Paulo Pezzolano, I think he has managed Udinese, I believe, beforehand. So yeah, I think this will be a difficult appointment for him. He's never managed in the Championship before, and it is a very competitive league, and he's got to get used to that. So yeah, Watford are in all sorts of trouble next season if they don't get this appointment right, and I think they could even be a candidate to go down with how good the Championship is going to be next year. So yeah, I think Watford could definitely be in a lot of trouble next year. Now we go into Hull City's head coach. They're almost as bad as Watford, and that is Sergej Yakedovic. I think he's won the Turkish second league. Correct me if I'm wrong about that one, but he did manage Kayserispor from January the 28th to June 30th. Obviously not very long spell, and probably didn't do a very good job. He also has managed Dinamo Zagreb, Rijeka. He's managed plenty of teams in Croatia, Maribor, Zrinjski Mostar, but yeah, not great. He retired in 2015. Not that that means anything. He's a Bosnian coach. So yeah, he's got he plays a 4-2-3-1. Hull fans should expect that when they do play football. But yeah, I don't think he's exactly going to be a great coach. Similar to Paulo Pezzolano, never managed in the Championship before, never had issues outside. Never managed in England, of course, before. So yeah, that is a bit of a problem for Sergej Jurkovic, and I could see Hull City really, really struggling next season, and they could even be down there. I think they could go down. I think them and Watford could be screwed if their managerial appointments aren't right and aren't great. So yeah, Sergej Jurkovic, bit of an unknown, but I don't think he is. I think he's going to be under a lot of pressure with how Hull's owners are, and they're getting almost as bad as Watford. Now into another manager that hasn't managed in England before, and that is a British-Belgian coach in Will Still at Southampton, of course. With the parachute payments, they will be expecting to bounce back to the Premier League. First time of asking, and maybe can he do a job in the Premier League if he is good enough. He's done well in France as Will Still with the likes of Ram before he wasn't even an actual coach, didn't even have his pro license. So yeah, should be interesting for Will Still down at Southampton. I think that he's got a good reputation when I think he went on a 17 unbeaten run with Rams. So yeah, I think, or Reims, or whatever you want to call them. Also with Lens, I think he was okay, but I think it kind of petered out. I think it was a bit of a mid-table side. I think they were fighting Conference League, Europa League, and all that jazz. So yeah, but big pressure on him to deliver for Southampton. If it definitely doesn't get clicking, I'm sure the Southampton board will be quickly on that. They weren't afraid to sack Russell Martin or Ivan Juric last season, but that's because the team were doing absolutely abysmal. So yeah, Will Still has a big job on his hands. Never managed in the Championship, so yeah, he has got to meet expectations, but they are making moves in the transfer window, which is always good with the parachute payments. So yeah, Will Still definitely one to watch in the Championship this season as for Southampton, and yeah, never managed in England before and is under a bit of pressure as they are recently relegated Premier League side, similar to Luton, and like how that went. And the final team and manager that I have picked is Marti Cifuentes in at Leicester City. Managed in the Championship before. He is under pressure due to the Leicester City points deduction and what could be going on there. I would have included Danny Röhl as well, but we don't know what's going on with his future at Sheffield Wednesday. So yeah, with the points deduction, will be definitely pressure on Cifuentes. I definitely think there is a manager in there, but he didn't really get to showcase that at Queen's Park Rangers, did he? So yeah, I've gone for Cifuentes at Leicester, another manager that is slightly under pressure. Their relegation fight there's no relegation fight. They went down at the end of the last season, and yeah, they will definitely need to make sure they are good in the Championship this year, just in case any 10 to 15 point deductions is what I'm hearing of rumours so far. So yeah, Leicester could be in a bit of bother this season, but I think Cifuentes could be a great coach for Leicester. It might turn out brilliantly and they will win the league quite comfortably and maybe get promoted. But yeah, you don't know with the Premier League threatening as well, could be a bit of a problem as well. So yeah, it could just be a yo-yo effect and the Cifuentes might lose his job. So yeah, I think he's a good coach. He's a good coach, managed in England before, managed in the Championship with Queen's Park Rangers, of course, and probably does know what he is doing. So yeah, I could definitely see them. I could see them struggling, but I could also see them succeeding really well. Could Leicester City in this one, definitely got to watch Will Still and Marti Cifuentes on this one to see what happens with them. But yeah, I think Cifuentes is a decent enough coach to drag Leicester City to the playoffs or even promotion by the end of the day. We'll do one more as he's just sprung into my mind, and that is Julian Stefan at Queen's Park Rangers. Needs to win fans over after the departure of Marti Cifuentes to Leicester City. Yeah, QPR definitely need to get back towards the top end of the Championship, don't they? And win over some of their fans who seem to be in a bit of a pickle at the moment with their team just really, really struggling every year on year since Michael Beale's days after he left to Rangers, I think it was, and the QPR have just been on a downward trajectory since then. So yeah, Julian Stefan, I think, hasn't managed in the EFL before, so that will be a bit of a challenge for Queen's Park Rangers, and yeah, it should be a bit of an issue. Well, I don't think it will be a bit of an issue for Julian Stefan. I think it'll be pretty similar. I don't think QPR being in and around is similar to Stoke, in my opinion. Not great. Just lower mid-table in the Championship. Don't go up, don't go down, and just stay around low mid-table. So yeah, hopefully QPR do surprise me this season, but I can see Julian Stefan being under a lot of pressure from the QPR fans, as it's probably not who they would have wanted to appoint as their boss, but I'm sure they'll welcome anybody into Queen's Park Rangers after Cifuentes departed. Thank you for watching this Championship Managers Under Pressure video from the start of August. If you did like the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Do all of that good stuff, and I'll speak to you all on the next one, which I'm not sure what it'll be, but it'll be something EFL related. So yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll speak to you all on the next one.